Okay, everybody, today's topic is database packets. Maybe you remember that from the first term, and these are theoretical lessons, but if you know that, you can solve all questions, as I said before, on the why questions and NECO questions, maybe to prepare preparation of the past question, and you can do it good results. Okay, let's continue. But before starting that, I want to say something about the database package. As you see on the picture, and the first left side of the slide, there are some pictures. As you see, and man, woman, man, and there are many groups are there here. And if you think about that, if some groups as a amount of the people, for example, amount of the pictures, and you will say something about that. We collected all pictures. Okay, today, by the end of the lesson, you should learn something. These are learning objectives. The first one is what are the terminologies about the database? Some of them, for example, field, record, file, and key. Maybe you remember something, and we will continue that. And the other one is which types of the database we have, and we will mention about something. And what about the advantage of using databases? If you use a database, it should be some advantage. Maybe a little bit disadvantage, but it's very, very small. And like spending any time, okay? And the other one is which areas we are using databases. We will talk in this lesson. And before starting our topics, you should know that about the data. See, data, it can be easily accessed and managed and updated. What is the meaning of this? For example, you have a mobile phone, your parents' mobile phone, and if you want to call someone, you are going to click the contacts and maybe a phone, and after you are selecting, after a few seconds, you are finding your record or finding your mobile phone number and a person, and you are calling them. And this is also any kind of a data, okay? For example, and before showing this picture also, I want to say that in our world, in our life, everything is data. If you manage it, if you access it, if you see, if you count it, we are saying data, okay? And we are talking today about the computer data and database. On this picture, as you see, everybody, and on this picture, we have a table and on the black screen, and there are some titles, for example, title, release year, and length. And under these titles, under these columns, there are some information. We are saying data, all of them. For example, Tracy Sider is a data, 2006 is a data, and 159 is a data, okay? All of them, each one is data. Okay, today we have some subtopics, commonly used database terms in the terminologies, and some types of database, advantages of database, and uses of databases. Okay. And the first one is about the terminology. The first one is database. We will talk after this slide. And the other one is database management system. Generally, in all over the world, we are using some short names. For example, DBMS. If you see anywhere this name about the database, DB is database, management, and system. And the other one is what we are using in database. Yes, you are right. We are using tables, and definitely I'm saying that if you know primary key, you can manage your data very easily. Okay. And the other one is data entry. This is very easy. You can enter some information, some data related to fields or your information. And the other one is, everybody, let's start under this terminology. As you see here, we have one folder shelf, whatever you say, and there are some folders and files inside of the shelf, and it is managed, it is accessed. If you want to take something from inside, and for example, folder or file, you can see from the shelf, the second floor or first floor, you can find it. And a database is an organized collection. Please pay attention here. Organized collection of information. And if it is not organized, for example, some information is here, some is here, some is here, you cannot access very easy. But we can say only data. Database, organized collection like this shelf. And that can be stored. For example, assume that if some, for example, files are outside of somewhere, you cannot access it, you cannot change, edit, and remove, and something, you cannot do it, okay? It should be in shelf, for example, about this picture. And it can be stored on, it's important, on a computer. We are talking about for the computer science, computer studies, the database about the computer. It should be on a computer as a set of text files or spreadsheets. Why we didn't write or type here, for example, as a set of music files or a set of video files? We didn't write because there are main two things about the computer science: the text files and spreadsheets. For example, let's assume that you can write on the notepad something. For example, your what can I say? For example, market list. You want to buy something, you wrote it on the text file, and you can use it just simple text, or you can use it spreadsheet. For example, like MS Excel. Okay. And for example, and as you see in this screen, we have we have also this book. We are saying that address book. Maybe you can see a little bit when you be near, when you be closer that. And there are some names and the postal code and some telephone numbers here. And we were using approximately 20 years ago, lastly. And you know, there were not too much mobile phones, and we were using at home. Now maybe in Nigeria also still using. And we were using some mobile phones about the home. If you want to call someone, like with the cabled phones on the desk, for example, and we were calling. If you know, if you memorize it, very important person, for example, favorite person, you can call them. But normally we were looking inside of the address book. Okay, and this is just database and very simple information. This is an organized collection of information that can be stored. Okay, and the other one is database management system. Actually, you know, but let's repeat it. And the database management system, DBMS, is a software program. And this is not in a folder, this is not in a file, this is software program. Everybody, and we are using this DBMS to create and manage database. For example, you have huge contact list, and one by one you can edit it, or let's say on the mobile phones also we are using like this. You can click and select some of them to remove, some of them to copy, some of them to edit something, and you can use it with the DBMS. If you don't have any software, generally we have in many applications the DBMS. But if you don't have, you cannot manage it very easily. You can do it, but very, very slow, and it will take too much time. And everybody, we are talking generally about software. As you see here on the screen, software means we are using sometimes as application, we are using sometimes as a package. For example, if I say Microsoft Office package, you should understand it, you should understood it. In this Microsoft Office package, there are some software. For example, Word, for example, Excel, for example, Access, okay? If we say, for example, about the application, I want to download Kahoot application. See, Kahoot application, for example, if you can access from the internet as a web page, or you can download it on your mobile phone as application. Okay, everybody, for example, Microsoft Excel, Google Spreadsheet, and Microsoft Access, these are very, very famous database management system. These are software. Generally, we are all using Excel and Access, and also additionally, online, you can use the Google Spreadsheet, Google, for example, Word and Access, and many things we have online. Okay, everybody, DBMS softwares, let's mention that a little bit with pictures. MS Excel here, as you remember. As you know, MS Access. And these are two of them, very, very famous and easy to use after learning that. Very, very easy. And the other one is very professional software, is SQL Server by Microsoft. Okay. The other one is the other company, Oracle company. This is a database software. You can use it. If you learn an Oracle database, maybe you can manage your documents with SQL Server very easy. And the other one is IBM company. They created DB2, database 2, maybe version is the name. Okay, let's continue about the tables. And tables means, as you know, when you enter some data in a cell, it is collected inside of the tables. Most databases, they have this table, and we can organize it very easily. And tables should include fields, records, and files. How do we know this is table or not? Let's just give the information small here. Fields, single piece of information about the table, inside of the table, and record is one complete set of fields. Did you see? Record one complete set of the fields. After this slide, you will learn very well, very easy. And the file is collection of records. It's going up. See, field and set of field is record, and collection of records are file. Okay. I think it's very easy. And let's go. And the table, this is our simple table. And there are some school ID information, name information, and surname information, address information, and email information. And if I ask to you, maybe you can answer it very easy. What about the name of the all cells? Everybody, for example, let's say Kaduna. Kaduna is just, everybody, let me do it like this. Kaduna is only data value, okay? If we say, for example, Bello, if we say this school ID, if we say this email, these are all, each one data value. And the other one is, as you see here, and I circled here, this is, I think you are saying something, this is field, And let's say the school ID field, name field, surname field, address field, and email fields. Okay, all of them is set of the data values. Okay, the other one is, as you know, the last thing is records. For example, if I ask to you, second record is included what? For example, here, the first record is Abu Bakar Olavale Kano, this school ID. The second record is John Okbe from Abuja. As you see, this is very easy to understand. Okay, guys, as you see here, there's a primary key. I think you remembered something about that. Primary means the first key or special key. If you don't have any key, let's talk about the house. If you don't have your home key, you cannot enter inside. Okay. For this reason, everybody, I will check my chat, and if you have some questions, you can write, but don't ask too much and too irrelated questions. Maybe related questions you can ask to us. I will try to answer after finishing the lesson, okay? And primary key, everybody, should be very important. A primary key is a field, yes, you know, for example, name field, for example, ID field, that is used to sort data. And actually, if you don't have any primary key, you can sort it in the, for example, Excel or Access software. But if you have, you can do it very easy. And every single record in a database has a primary key. For example, let's go to back here. Every single record, for example, this record has one primary key. Okay, let me ask you, if you ask, for example, Abuja can be address, can be any primary key, for example, I think it should not be, because many people can stay in Abuja, and maybe many people can have this John name or Okbe surname, maybe about the email, but I don't think so, because email addresses are different. Can be primary key or can be a different foreign key, but here, as you see here, nobody can take the same school ID. Okay, every single record in a database we set to identify the primary key. Everybody, let's talk about that, about the table. And here, this is the part of our table. And I want to ask this question. I will take some answer from you, okay? And who wants to say, I will select you, who wants to say, what is the problem, what is the wrong on table, okay? What is wrong on table? Now I'm selecting from randomly. There are somebody here. Please be ready to answer. What is the problem? What is the wrong in this table? Who wants to say? Okay, I'm selecting here from, okay, Kaduna Boys. From Kaduna Boys. What is the name of this friends? And unmute. Kaduna Boys, David Ali. Okay, David. Kaduna Boys, David Ali. Can you answer this question?
Sir, there are two school IDs. Two school IDs that are the same.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Let us ask the second one. If you know, you can be silent. Thank you very much, Mr. David Ali. I'm very happy to see you. Okay, see you later. Okay, who wants to say the second problem? The second wrong thing. Okay, I'm starting from, let's say from ladies. There are many students we have. Okay, let's say NTIC Yobe girls. Oh, he's not around, I think. Okay, NTIC Yobe girls, Sümeyye. Yes, please.
What's that?
Oh, I think she doesn't want to say something. I don't know. Okay, let's ask the second ladies. Okay, I want to ask Abuja girls. Alice, Agada. Okay, can you say to us what is the problem or what is the wrong second one? Abuja girls. Alice. Okay, I couldn't hear anything. Let's say, let's give the chance the others. Okay, sorry, I want to see someone, but I think there are some problems with the okay, let's say Ogun girls. Okay, from Ogun girls, Akpo to Princess. Could you say something?
There's no school ID for Joseph Blessed.
Yes, thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Very nice. There is no school ID. Yes, you are right. And if there is no school ID, we cannot sort it as ID. Okay, very nice. You understood. And let's continue. The primary key is very important for this reason. And it must contain a unique value. It should not be, it must not be duplicated value. For example, school ID. Okay, we cannot use it like this, and it cannot contain null values. For example, as you see here from the school ID, everybody, if you put it as a primary key in the school ID, you cannot do it these things, but you can do it. You can make null values from the other data. You can duplicate, for example, see Kano, Abuja, Kaduna, maybe you can put it here again, Kaduna, again, Kano, and Yobe. It's not important, but for primary key, we cannot do it like this. Okay, about the data entry, let's continue. And the data entry is a process. Definitely, this is very easy, and you can put information and manually or automatically, but we are using generally manually. Okay, and the data entry also should be correct type. What is the meaning of this? If you enter your data value as a number, numerical value, and you should write definitely the numerical number value, okay? But if you wrote it something different, for example, text, for example, date, if you type it, it's not correct. It should be correct type to understand. Okay. And the other one, okay, I think we will mention it here. The example of the database, as you see here, this is the MS Excel overview. There are some fields and records. For example, the third record is here, Boston crab meat, blah, blah, blah. This is records. If I say only one value, you can say just one cell. The same thing in the MS Access, we have different tables. For example, this is the table name. This is a different table name. In the table, there are some fields and some records here. As you see, I'm showing with the mouse, okay, and data values also. Okay, the second subtopic, types of databases. These are very easy, and we have just 3 types. This is changeable. We are using depend on our information, type of information. If you don't need one of them, you should not use. You can use the other one. Flat file database, one of them. This is very simple. And relational database. And the third one is hierarchical database. Everybody, let's go there. Flat file database. And this one is just single table. And also like spreadsheet. Spreadsheet means like MS Excel or MS Access. And there is no related tables. And it means just one table you can use and you can see everything inside of that. But if you want to see many information with different tables, you can use different database type. And it is used to store small amounts of data. It doesn't mean just 1, 2, 3 records. Maybe 1 million records, you can use it, but in one single table, okay? And just the example, this is our flat file database type. And differently, even if you have more records, even if you have more columns, and even if you have some calculations, if you have just one table, we are saying that flat file database. Okay, the second one is, as you see here, relational database. Everybody, this has relationship between the other tables, the other items. How can we understand it? What is the meaning of this? Let's see. It has more than one table, and tables are linked using key fields. And what is the meaning key fields? We talked about that the primary key, it means primary key. If you have primary keys, you can make relationship between table very easy and very healthy. If you don't have, you can make a relationship, but it will not give good results, maybe good information to you, okay? Relationships, more than one table, and it should be linked, the other keys. This is very easy example. We have 1, 2, 3 tables, and it is connected. There is relationship between first to third one, and second to third one. What is the meaning of this? For example, no need to keep all information in one table. If we are saying just flat file database. If you want, for example, you want to see only birthday, for example, about the author. No need to see publisher ID, no need to see ISBN, no need to see title. You can go to table of author, okay? And if you want to see at the same time birthday about the author with the date, for example, with the author ID, you should make a relationship between them. Like this also from the first and third tables, and it should be the same fields and the same records inside of the table. See, in the first table there is a publisher ID, and it is related to publisher ID, the same things from the third table. And the same thing, author ID from the third table, and the second table, author ID, the same thing. If there is different thing, we tried that many times on the MS Access software, and it should not give good results. Maybe it will give error, okay? And the other one is the sample of the MS Access table 1, table 2, and table 3. As you see here, there are some primary keys. It means run ID is primary key. You cannot put null value. You cannot add the same ID number. And relationship between these run ID and experiment ID to experiment ID. Actually, these are one to many, okay? One to many relationship. Maybe you remember that. If I put it, let's assume that from the run ID to run value ID, it should be primary key to primary key, means 1 to 1. But now we don't have primary key to primary key, okay? And the other one is hierarchical database. This is very easy. Data is organized in the hierarchy, and for example, like this picture, if you want to produce vegetable, at the same time you can do it in the flat file database in MS Excel, in MS Access, but no need. This is very just simple thing for hierarchical database. For example, university hierarchy here, and university is separated as a department and infrastructure, and teachers, students, courses under the department. Under the course, there are some theory and labs. A video, let's see that the sound is open or not. Yeah.
Databases are everywhere, but you never see them. They're hidden behind the tools and services that you use every day. Ever wondered where Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter put the data? Yeah, it's all stored in a database. Where do Google store the details of the pages that they index from the internet? Yep, in a database. Where are the contacts in your mobile phone stored? In a database. Databases do most of the work in the information systems that we use every day. So what is a database? Is it just a random collection of stuff all squeezed in together? No, databases are organized. Databases have a structure, and all the data we store in them fits into this structure. Very simple databases are called flat file databases. They store data in columns of fields and rows of records. Let's think about a simple database that Bob uses to store his address book. This database contains the names, addresses, birthdays, and telephone numbers of his friends and family. Bob has met his friend Megan and would like to add her to his address book. He writes down her first name, last name, address, postcode, and date of birth so he can remember to send her a birthday card, and her telephone number. The details that Bob writes down are stored in fields in his address book database. These are the columns in his database file. The information about Megan fills a whole row in his database file. Each row is called a record, and each of the rows holds information about a different person in his address book. Unlike a paper address book, Bob can carry out operations on his stored database. He can search it to find a particular person. Hey, let's look for Megan. If we search the whole address book for Megan, then we might be surprised at what we get back. Bob can make the search more accurate by selecting the field he wants. So he can ask the database to return all the records where first name equals Megan. Or he could ask the database to show everyone with a birthday in December. He can sort the database to show the records in a different order. He can sort them by last name, ascending, or by last name descending. Or use any other field. These columns of fields can store different types of data. Let's have a look at a new and improved version of Bob's address book. This view of the database shows just one record, the one about Megan that we looked at earlier. But Bob has now added a photo of Megan, her age, the time he last called her, and how many times he's called her in the past. The first name, last name, address, postcode, and telephone number fields all store text. Text fields can hold a mixture of letters, numbers, and symbols. The date of birth field has a field type of date, so it stores calendar dates. The last call field is a time type, which means it stores its data in a time format, such as AM or PM, or the 24-hour clock. The photo field stores data of type graphic. This can be any type of image. The age field is a special field. There isn't any data in it. Instead, it contains a special calculation to work out Megan's age based on her date of birth and the date today. This calculation is called a formula, and fields like this have a field type of calculated. The times called field contains data of type number. This can be whole numbers or decimals. So some things to remember. Flat file databases are simple stores of information. These simple databases have fields as columns, records as rows, and are stored in files. Fields can have 6 different types: text, number, date, time, graphics, and calculated. A database can be searched to find specific records, and a database can be sorted into any order based on its fields.
Okay, I think it's very useful to understand very easily. And advantage, everybody, we have just small time, but I want to go a little bit more. I will do it after 12:45. This is very important because of that. Advantage of using a database, database can store very large numbers in a little space. And the other one is, what about the advantage of that? It can be found quickly and easily, and database should be easy to edit and add or delete. And the other one, database and data can be sorted easily, we said. And also more than one person can access, for example, like a web page. Everybody can access it at the same time, okay? Like a database. Okay, and the other one is security may be better than in paper files. Because when you write anything on the paper, you can put somewhere, maybe some thief can take and some friends forget it, maybe it will go down, it will fall down, and maybe somebody will take it. But the database in the computer, if you lock it, anybody cannot take it. Okay, uses of databases, which areas we are using, and by police, the criminal databases information, they are using the database. And in our schools also at the same time, in schools, and we are using database about the detail of students and parents. And hospitals, they are using database to store information about the patients. And database can be used to keep track of traffic offenses. For example, if there is any mistake, and or for the traffic lights or some accident, they can report it, they can record it. Okay, search engines are also databases like Google and Yahoo, and as you remember the other things, DuckDuckGo, for example. Okay, yeah, everybody, we have some past questions I collected for you. And this question from 2019, question 50. And I will ask again, I will ask to you, you will answer it. A folder in which related records are kept in a computer is called archive, database, document, or field or file. Okay, I'm looking to chat. Who, no, not chat, sorry, and participants, I'm going there. I will select someone from, okay, many students are ready. Let me select from STEM. Abuja boys. Oh, Abuja boys. Did I select you? Anyone? Okay. Let's say, okay, Abuja boys. Tariq, could you tell us, please?
Sir, is database.
Is database, are you sure?
Document.
Document or database? Please select one. Okay.
Database.
Okay, this is database, you said that. Thank you very much. Let's see. I think it's very easy to understand. This is database and we are keeping our records and if it is related or not in database. Thank you. Okay, the second question from the, again, 2019, question 58. Which of the following cannot be used as a primary key? Okay, date of birth, department number, receipt number, registration number, and subject code. Okay, I'm selecting from, okay, the different place. Sorry, it's very difficult, guys, you know, to select someone. Actually, the network problem also. Okay, let me see. Yes, from Abuja Koet, Hafsa Shehu. Okay, Hafsa. Could you say to us? Didn't I click microphone? I don't know. Okay, Abuja Koet, Hafsa. Could you tell to us, please? Okay, we will change students, sorry. Okay, from if you came here a little late maybe, and I'm looking some people just from the Abuja girls and Ogun boys, why they are not doing? Oh, I'm looking, okay, NTIC Kano girls, from NTIC Kano girls, okay, what is the name? Hindat. Sorry if I wrote something wrong. Sorry. Hindatu Adamu from the Kano girls. Okay, we are waiting your answer.
That is date of birth.
You said date of birth.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Hindat Adamu. Let's see. This answer is A, date of birth. Thank you very much. Can be someone the same date of birth, but the other numbers, the other codes cannot be the same. Okay, let's continue the third one. From the Abuja past questions 2019, the other ones are different place. And Abuja past question, as you see here, dash is an organized collection of data. Database, software, application, and data processing. Okay, I think that's very easy question. I will answer for you because of the time. The answer is database, organized collection. If you see, we can say database. And the last question for the past questions, dash is the collection of related information. As you see, the different type to say the answer here, the database. Okay, the answer is database. And everybody, if you summarize it, the database is an organized collection of information, and databases consist of fields, records, and files. Files means collection of tables, okay? And the other one is, there are three types, database, flat file, relational, and hierarchical. And databases are used in many areas to store, okay? Everybody, we have some assignment questions as an objective. You can do it on Google Classroom. And okay, I think it's enough for this lesson. Thank you very much. Everybody, I'm very happy to see you. Actually, I don't see your face, but I know that you are very ready in this class. But the participants are going down. Okay, thank you very much, guys. See you later. And see you soon after 2 weeks, I think. See you.